Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to today's Pick a Card reading. Today we're looking into what the person on your mind has realized, and we have 4 piles to choose from, piles 1, 2, 3, and 4. And personal readings are available if you want to book with me. You can find all of the links for that in the description box below. And I have nothing else to announce, so I will leave you to focus on which deck calls to you the most, and I will see you soon. Hello, my beautiful pile ones. Why is this shaking so much? Hello, my beautiful pile ones, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking into what the person on your mind has realized about you and your connection. And yeah, we'll start with not the tarot. We will start with some oracle cards, and then we have some tarot to get through, as well as some channeled messages. So to start off your reading, we have number 24, control. We have your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. We have communication is key, new moon in Gemini. We have number 22, Capricorn, I use. We have miracles. We have love. We have love again. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And we have forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. The strongest energy I'm getting from this is this could be an ex that you haven't talked to in a while. It doesn't have to be someone you were necessarily in a relationship with. It could also be that this was someone you had mutual and very strong feelings for. And things just never really fell together. The connection just never got grounded. That's more so the energy that I'm getting from this. And it feels like this is someone who may have a tendency to prematurely try to do damage control and try to control situations where they don't want to get hurt. It feels like this connection was very intense for them, even if it wasn't for you, but I feel like for most of you, this is a mutual energy. It does feel reciprocated. It does feel like there were some memories made here that both of you are very fond of. This person could have hurt you by walking away from this connection or asking to separate or take a break, whatever it may have been for your particular situation. It feels like they tried to bring in this habit of doing damage control into this situation as well, and maybe walked away from things without seeing how they would actually turn out because they assumed they would get hurt, or they would hurt you, or you would hurt them, or the connection would just fall apart because that's what they've learned from their past. That's what has always happened for them. And of course, this doesn't mean that this is necessarily what would have happened. And I think this person is coming to realize that they prematurely tried to interfere with the flow of this connection. And that maybe, even though it felt like the right thing to do at the time, now is the time to, I was going to say reverse that, but it's not necessarily about reversing what already happened, but it is about accepting what happened and moving forward. And maybe reopening this book. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. This feels like someone who is willing to reconsider, willing to reassess this connection between the two of you, because this is someone who really, really, really cares about you and your well-being. For some of you, you could have stayed friends, but maybe this person wasn't very open about how they were feeling, or they weren't very communicative about their life. They're coming to realize that you can't read their mind. No matter how connected the two of you might be, no matter how connected they may feel to you, you can't just read their mind. You can't just instantly know how they're feeling, why they're doing things. And it feels like this person may have difficulty explaining themselves, especially when they're put on the spot in a very emotional situation. I do think this is someone who is very, very emotional, but someone who's also maybe not very in tune with their emotions. So it's possible that they often feel overwhelmed or disconnected from their emotional body because there is just too much that they're feeling that it just makes them shut down and shut out and shut you out maybe. But it feels like they are recognizing these patterns that they have of assuming the worst, the self-limiting beliefs that they carry about how connections in their life turn out, or what they're able to give in connections, what they're able to provide, or what love is. I feel like this is someone with a lot of self-limiting beliefs, and it feels like these beliefs could have been projected into this connection as well, and resulting in some kind of separation or pause or distance between the two of you, whether it's physical or emotional. And I think for most of you, this could have been a while ago, or at least it feels like both people have moved on from this to some degree, or maybe have become more open to pursuing other connections that maybe weren't as intense, at least on this person's end. If they have had another connection, it almost feels like their mind kept thinking back to you. Because with this Capricorn energy, there's the sense of being bound to this connection in some way, or feeling bound to it in some way, but at the same time being bound to their own self-limiting beliefs and their own self-sabotaging habits. And this is someone, I think, who understands that it takes a profound change of perspective to overcome these obstacles that seem to have been mainly in their mind and in their perspective. This is someone who recognizes that they need to put in the work to make things happen. This is what they are realizing, that they can't just wish for this connection. They can't just daydream about it without changing their behavior, changing their habits, changing their perspective. They can't just daydream about it and expect you to, suddenly reappear in their life. They have to put in real work. And this is someone, I think, who really is aware of that, or is becoming aware of that. That it's not a miracle that would bring this connection back, but it is hard work, it is effort, it is healing that they put energy into. But let's get into the tarot. I'm curious to see what else comes through. What else they're realizing, or how they're doing. Anything that wants to come through, really. I heard I had to walk away because I loved you too much and it was dangerous. I'm not sure what exactly that could refer to, but maybe it makes sense to someone. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. I think this person is realizing that they can heal with others as well. And I'm not saying this in the sense that others can do the healing work for us, but It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not always be 100% independent. This might be someone who's a bit of a perfectionist and someone who feels like they should always do things on their own. And they might be very dependable to others, but maybe they find it difficult to put their trust in other people. And it feels like they're coming to realize that it doesn't have to be that way, that they don't need to do all of this alone, that they don't need to be 100% healed to pursue a relationship or to pursue a connection or to pursue love. They don't need to be 100% healed to be with someone else. We have the World in reverse. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. It feels like they are overcoming some very deep insecurities that were maybe keeping them stuck and that were making them going in loops or in circles. We have the Sun. Leo energy could be significant, and we have the Six of Cups in reverse. This is giving me inner child healing energy. It does feel like this person's been really hard at work, and they could have been connecting with their inner child more. And one thing that's coming through as well is that their inner child feels safe with you. Like it wants to come out to play, and it's not so afraid of being disappointed or abandoned anymore. That's kind of the energy that this gives me. This person feels safe with you. And it almost feels like they're realizing this in hindsight, or realizing how rare this is for them and how valuable it is as well. And they really miss you. With the Six of Cups energy and the Sun, it's just a lot of reminiscing. It's a lot of thinking back to the good memories that you made together, like small things like waking up next to each other if you ever did. Hiking is coming through as well. Or dancing around in your room. It just feels like little moments that they're very, very fond of, and it really feels like they just remember you very fondly in general. We have the Ten of Cups. This person is realizing that they don't have to block themselves from pursuing the things that they want out of a fear of not being worthy of them, or out of a fear of not being able to provide. They're recognizing their insecurities and challenging them. And I feel like this connection may have been something that they sacrificed because of these self-limiting beliefs, these insecurities that they had. But it feels like they're getting out of their own way and recognizing that it wasn't necessarily all of these big obstacles that were blocking the two of you, but it mostly came down to their perspective. For some of you, this person could feel guilty about how things happened as well. But for others of you, I feel like they are in a place where they've accepted that that was just how they felt at the time, and that it is okay, that they didn't know better. That they're trying to do better now. And for some of you, this could also be a mirror to your own energy as well. You may feel like you resonate with this too. So it could be that you are mirroring each other, but it could also be that this is your energy and the person on your mind is in another pile. But I don't want to interfere with that. So it's up to you, whatever you feel called to. They realize that there is unfinished business here, at least according to them. You don't have to feel the same way about this situation, but they feel like there is unfinished business between the two of you. With the Eight of Cups in reverse and the World in reverse, it just feels incomplete. And it feels like a desire to return, to revisit something. We have the Five of Swords. I just saw the Empress. Taurus and Libra energies could be significant, but we also have some cards that flew out. We have the King of Wands, and we also have the Eight of Swords in reverse, which again for me is confirmation that this person is realizing that they were blocking their own path to happiness. They were cutting things off or blocking situations from happening for them because they didn't feel worthy of it, or they felt like it wasn't meant for them, because things like this, things that are almost too good to be true, are not meant for them. They could have felt this way in the past. And it doesn't have to be that these thoughts are 100% gone now and they're doing great every single day, feeling 100% confident. It doesn't have to be that way at all, but I think they're in the process of almost developing better ways of dealing with these thoughts, which I think is incredible. I feel like this person has made so much progress. And it feels like they're building their confidence. They could have had avoidant tendencies. Like they could have been a big risk taker in certain areas of their life. Like they could be someone who's big on traveling, or they could have taken a risk in their career. But it feels like when it comes to things that affect them emotionally, things that have to do with very intense emotions, then they become terrified. And I think this connection was something that really intimidated them, but also made them feel very safe at the same time. Because again, this person seems to have felt incredibly safe in your presence. But then again, the intensity of this connection seems to have terrified them too. And maybe they didn't know what to do, so they thought that they should just do damage control now and pull away before they inevitably mess up. That seems to be the story of the past of this connection. And I was shuffling and we have the Page of Swords. So this person, I think, it's almost like they're studying their own self. They're studying their own self-sabotage habits and recognizing that they were putting these swords in the way of this Nine of Cups, in the way of what they want. They were caging themselves in. And with this Page of Swords, to me, like, I'm almost getting this image. Not almost, I am getting this image of this page pulling out the swords from here. So the path is open again, ignoring that there is a person that is very much stabbed here. But yeah, it feels like healing, and it feels like mending their own self. There's a lot of growth here, a lot of building the self up. And I think that is an absolutely beautiful energy. Let's get some channeled messages. If I can find them, that is. Here we go. All right. What message wants to come through from the person on pile one's mind, please, universe? What message wants to come through? I don't want to hurt anyone. I feel lonely without you. I don't want to get hurt. Yeah. I feel like this was their mindset going in. And I think this still applies. They still don't want to hurt you or anyone else you might be involved with, or they don't want to get hurt either. But I think they, again, are becoming more brave and recognizing that it doesn't always have to be that someone gets hurt in an irreversible way. We have, I wish you were here. I don't know what your intentions are. I want the absolute best for you. I need support and I value the memories we made. This is, again, confirming that this person is realizing that they don't need to do it all alone. And with I value the memories we made, again, that fond energy and that reminiscing. But I do think they might not know where you're at all. I'm going to take this card because it, I don't know, it just did a thing on its own and these are bunched up together. So we have, I want more from this connection. Bottom deck energies, I don't know how you'll feel about me. And I also just saw, I'm worried you'll change your mind about, I'm worried you'll change your mind about me. So if it has been a while, this person might feel like you've moved on and you're with someone else already. And that you may not give them an opportunity to speak their mind. I just saw 2222. We also have I can't do this anymore. I feel guilty and I want your attention. This might be where this pile kind of just strays into two paths. Where for some of you, this person might be feeling very guilty and a little bit too intimidated to go after this or make something happen, so they may still need more time. And for others of you, it feels like, again, it is coming from a place of understanding that they did the best with what they knew at the time, with what they felt at the time. It really feels like this is someone who's learning to make peace with their own self, which is, again, a beautiful energy to be in. Yes, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile ones. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. Personal readings are available if you want to book with me. You can find all the links for that in the description box below. And I am sending you lots of love. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking into what the person on your mind has realized about you, relating to you and your connection. And we'll start with some oracle cards, and then we have some tarot to get through, as well as some channeled messages. So let's see what we have. We have number 7, law of intention. We have expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. We have you and your loved ones are safe, new moon in Cancer. We have Mercury, mind. Gemini and Virgo energies could be significant, but they don't have to be. We have a standstill, which came out in reverse, but I'll put it upright. But I will keep in mind that it was reversed. We have flow. We have gratitude. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. And we have regret. I know that I cannot change the past. This is someone who recognizes that they can't keep hiding forever. This could be someone that you are in a relationship with that is having difficulty opening up, being vulnerable, being honest with you about their feelings. But this could also be an ex that feels like they have wronged you and they've hurt you in some way. And it feels like maybe up until this point, their intentions have not been very clear to you. This could be because their intentions were not clear to them either, because it feels like this is someone who was just a prisoner in their own head, like kind of just repeatedly going in circles. This could be someone who really struggles with their mental health, someone who really struggles to open up to others and be vulnerable. And I feel like you've given this person an incredible sense of support. And this person is realizing that that is something that is truly special and something that needs to be really, really valued. This is someone who is very grateful for you, grateful for the connection that the two of you share, and very grateful for the safe space that you have created for them, with them in this connection. It feels like the dynamic, it could have been a bit like lopsided in the sense that you could have been giving more in this connection because this person felt that they didn't have the space, or they wanted to focus on work, or they wanted to focus on their own self and their own healing. Because it almost feels like they just had too much on their plate, or they felt like they had too much on their plate to give you the kind of energy that you deserve. And if you are with this person, I think they're coming to realize that you are not going to judge them for feeling the way that they do. It feels like you just want to understand how they feel, how they see the situation, and where they stand. And it feels like this person may have just needed a pause to gather their thoughts and figure out how they're feeling, to check in with their own self and to figure out what their intentions are. And this person is someone who is realizing that although it might feel scary to them to open up, and they may feel like they need to take a risk in this connection, and this could just relate to them opening up and being honest and vulnerable with their feelings, especially if they grew up thinking that this wasn't okay, especially if they learned from their parents or early life caregivers that it's not okay to be vulnerable with their feelings, it's not okay to make them obvious. Then this can feel like a really big risk, stepping out of their comfort zone, but they want to do it. And I think they want to go deeper into this connection too. They want to kind of just restart in certain ways, it seems. And that's why I'm getting an ex or a current partner who's kind of just been a little bit cold, or been a little bit disconnected, or has taken some space. This person has realized that, I think in the space that they took from this connection, they realized that they want to be closer to it. And that they're willing to take a risk for it as well. And that they need to learn to take their experiences from the past and learn from them what they can, but not let them consume them whole. Because while they can't completely erase any trauma that they may have experienced or any scars they may have from their past, they can try and work to decrease the effects they currently have on their life. And this person seems to have had enough of being at a standstill. And it really feels like they are realizing that they need to initiate something. They need to take some kind of action towards you. For some of you, you could have already reached out to them or told them that you will give them space and they can talk to you. They can tell you what's going on if they feel ready, whenever they feel ready. And it feels like this person is recognizing that there are things within them that they need to heal and that it's going to take courage, but they're willing to put in the work because this connection is worth it. And feeling free from their past, from their trauma, is worth it too. This person, I feel like they really want to reconnect. And that seems to be what they're realizing. But let's get into the tarot. Maybe they haven't had the courage to be honest with you about certain things that they're experiencing. But they're realizing that they can't just ignore their thoughts, their feelings, and repress them forever. They need to do something with them. Because it feels like these unprocessed or unexpressed thoughts and emotions take up a lot of space in their energy, and it feels like it's making them quite overwhelmed, no matter what you may see on the outside from them. We have the Eight of Swords. What has the person on pile two's mind realized, please, universe? What has this person realized? I think this is someone who feels very nurtured by you as well, and someone who wants to return that energy that you give them. We have the Page of Wands. They realize that they may have a lot to learn, especially when it comes to expressing their true feelings. And it feels like they want to learn more about your love language. We have the Knight of Cups. I was just going to say, it feels like this person wants to spoil you almost. Like they want to make up for lost time or make up for effort that they didn't put into this connection before. And it feels like they regret not doing more in the past. And they realize that they're going to have to put in a lot of effort. But at the same time, it really feels like they realize that they're willing to put in this effort, even though it is scary. We have the Five of Wands in reverse, and we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. There is a very significant understanding here, I think, that they have been very difficult with their own self. It feels like they've set certain expectations of their own self, certain boundaries about what they can and can't do, what they can and can't talk about, what they can and can't say. But it feels like all of these repressed thoughts and emotions are now just allowed to come out, or they're trying to allow these repressed energies to come out. And it feels like relief. It feels like they're making space to connect and reconnect. But of course, this is not just, it's not an easy thing to do. I feel like there's a lot of unprocessed experiences, a lot of unprocessed emotions. So I feel like this is taking quite a bit of energy. I had to stop filming for a second, but I am back. So right before I stopped filming, I was holding this card in my hand for a while. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse, so I will just put it here and we can continue where we left off. This person seems to feel like they are disappointing you in some way. Or like they disappointed you for a long time, but they don't want things to be this way anymore. They want to be dependable. They want you to trust them. And it feels like maybe for the longest time they believed that they couldn't be this stable, secure person. It almost feels like they had to pretend like they were, like they had it all together. They are this rock. But it feels more like they were a bit stoic. But it was all kind of just a mess on the inside. Like they never really dealt with what's on the inside, and they worked way too hard on presentations, on how they are seen and how they're perceived, the impression that others have of them. But it feels like maybe they didn't give themselves an opportunity to do the necessary work to actually feel secure and stable within themselves as well, instead of trying to just instill that impression onto others. This might be for some of you someone you have a child with as well, or someone you've shared a home with in the past, or someone you still share a home with, depending on your situation. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. This is someone who's recognizing that just getting like external validation of some kind, or external things to no, let me say that again. I think they're realizing that it's not enough to just get validation from outside things. Like it's not enough for you to tell them things or validate something about them. Like it's not enough to hear that you trust them, for example, but they need to truly embody that and feel that within themselves. It feels like it's not enough to just have things at face value anymore. And maybe they told themselves that this was enough. As long as they appear strong, then it doesn't actually matter. And things along these lines. That's what it feels like to me. But I do think this is someone who has a lot of difficulty expressing their true feelings. So I think this is a very big step for them to want more. And right as I was saying that, we have the Fool It's definitely a risk for them, but it feels like it's absolutely a risk that they're willing to take. But that doesn't mean it's still not very scary. We have the Six of Pentacles. They want peace between the two of you. They realize that it is very important to them, your well-being, the connection between the two of you, that it's mutual, that it goes both ways, that they can return the same energy that you give them, emotionally, physically, mentally, in any way that they can. This is someone who really wants to provide, but who feels like they have been absent from that role. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse as well. For some of you, again, this might be someone you someone you have a family with, or someone you wanted to build a family with, but maybe they tapped out. But it feels like now they're coming to a place where they are willing to take more responsibility, first and foremost for their own well-being. I think they realize that this is very, very important, that they can't just put this on a shelf. They can't just repress everything. They can't just keep up a facade without actually dealing with what's going on underneath. They realize that they need to be more open to themselves and to others as well, and to you especially, because I feel like you've been nothing but encouraging and supportive to this person. And I think they really, really appreciate that. But it really feels like they have difficulty escaping from their own thoughts. Like their mind feels very, very active. So they might be a bit of an overthinker and over-analytical, especially towards their own self. I think they're very harsh with their own judgments of their own self. Is there anything else that we're missing? Otherwise, we will get into the channeled messages. I'll give this 2 more shuffles. I'm also just standing up, and I don't know why, but this is kind of giving me the sense that they might be looking at things from more of a bird's eye view now. Like they might be looking at things from a higher perspective, and maybe that's what's giving them these realizations about their own self. It feels like they've had a moment, had an opportunity to step away from things and really reassess. What message wants to come? We have mirroring. This is very strongly giving me the sense that they just want to match your energy. They want to give you everything you've given them and more. We have, is this the end for us? This connection is not just in your head. I think this message maybe especially applies if it's an ex, and you haven't like been in contact very much lately. We have, I can't do this anymore. It really feels like they've hit like a breaking point. We have come back home. You may have separated homes with this person, but at the same time, besides like an actual physical home, I think there's a strong sense of this person feeling very safe and at home with you as well. And I think they're craving for that again. We have not the right time. I can't stop thinking about the past. There's definitely a level of dissatisfaction with their own actions. I want to fight for you, and I'm sorry. I know I hurt you. Bottom deck energy is I am really attracted to you. I kind of want to get some Moonology cards. I don't even have this entire deck because I did pre-shuffle for the other piles, but I feel very called to get you one of these. So we have conclusions are within reach. Look at the bigger picture. I saw this while shuffling just now as well, which is bringing me back to saying this person might be looking at things from a bird's eye view right now. This feels like they want a restart. They want a new beginning, another chance. And we have a time to give rather than take. Feels like it's their time to give, their time to share, their time to open up and match your energy. Is there anything else? I'll shuffle 3 more times. All right, seems we have it all. So this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile 2s. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you lots of love. And personal readings are available. If you want to book with me, you can find all of the information for that in the description box below. And yes, take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile 3s, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking into what the person on your mind has realized about you and about the connection between the two of you. And we're starting with these oracle cards, so let's see what we have. We have number 66, physical body. We have don't let pride get in your way, full moon in Leo. We have the answers you need are coming. We have Saturn, truth. We have community. We have release. We have humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And we have change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So the first thing I have to say is that I feel like this person has caused you a lot of pain, and they seem to have been unaware, maybe by choice, maybe not by choice, but regardless, it feels like there was that they may have this habit of not taking responsibility for their own actions and acting a little bit reckless, especially when it comes to intimate connections. This is someone who is very protective of their own self and may have acted from a place of wanting to protect themselves without a care for anything else but keeping their own self safe. They may have had very difficult experiences as a child or very difficult experiences in their past intimate connections as well. And I'm not saying this as an excuse as to why this person may have acted the way that they did. But I am bringing this up because I think it's important to understand where this person may have been coming from as well. Not because I think you should act this way or that way towards them. That part is completely up to you, what you decide to do in this situation, or how you choose to interact with this person, or whether you choose to interact with them at all. But I'm telling you, this, and I want to explain it this way because I think it's important to emphasize that how this person may have treated you is not a reflection of who you are or the kind of treatment that you deserve. And it is also not your responsibility to make this person aware of their own actions. Because in the end, it's a choice. It comes down to a choice that this person has to make on their own. You can't force someone else to heal or take responsibility or see things differently, especially if they don't want to. And I feel like this is someone who's very set in their way, and they may feel like they're right and everyone else is wrong. There's quite a stubborn tinge to their energy and a little bit of a closed-mindedness to them as well. I feel like whatever pain it is that they may be carrying and this disconnection that they seem to have with themselves, because I do feel like this is someone who also doesn't know who they are, but they kind of created an illusion of who they are, and they tell themselves this story about who they are, even if it's not the truth, even if it's not really who they are. I feel like there's this story that they tell themselves, and a story they tell to other people as well. And anything outside of this, I think they just disregard because it is obviously not the truth to them. But I feel like you see through all of this. I think you see through this person's words and actions and what they're trying to, or what they've tried to show you so far. They may have, especially in the past, downplayed the effect that this situation has had on them, or the effect that you had on them, or the effect of the past pain that they're carrying has on them. I feel like these are just things that they don't want to meddle with necessarily, that they just want to put on a shelf or they just want to walk away from, because they don't want to deal with consequences. They don't want to deal with negatives or challenges or difficulties. But I think this person is very triggered. I can feel it in my chest. They're in a very triggered energy. So they may have lashed out at you, or they may have lashed out at other people around them. They may have pulled away completely because they realize that they can't get what they want out of this situation, that they can't put this situation under control. Because I think this is someone who likes to have control over situations, or even if they don't actually have control over it, to have a sense of control anyway. Because it feels like that's what keeps them feeling safe and secure, even though, again, this sense of safety doesn't seem to be real. Their energy feels very ungrounded. It's almost like it's floating, but it's erratic. It's not comfortable. It's not serene. It's quite chaotic, the way I'm seeing it. I think they seek external validation a lot, and it seems like the connection between the two of you stopped giving them this. So you may have pulled your energy away, or you may have confronted them about something, or you may have argued with them about something or disagreed with them. It just feels like they're not satisfied with where the situation is at right now, and it also feels like they're coming to realize that they're not gonna get away with it, that they can't really restore this connection without taking real responsibility. And I feel like what this person decides to do will be different for every single one of you, because just because they may have a realization, just because they may have a different perspective about something, just because they may have a better understanding of what's going on, it doesn't mean that they will take action accordingly. They might choose to ignore this awareness as well. They may still choose to not take responsibility. And it's not on you to make them take responsibility. The one thing that is on you, though, is to give yourself the opportunity to feel peace. Even if it's a lot easier said than done, you deserve to feel peace about the past. Because you can't undo the past, or you can't get rid of any pain that this connection has caused you, or this situation has caused you, without sifting through it first, without processing it first, without dealing with it first. But you can choose to try and minimize the effect, the hold the situation has over you, which is, again, a lot easier said than done. And your experience with this person may range from anything to anything, really. I don't want to give too many specifics because I feel like there's a big range of situations here. But the most important thing is that you keep looking out for yourself. No matter what you choose to do in this situation, in particular, you have to be on your team. You're the only person there for exactly 100% of your life. No one else. Not this person. Not anyone that you will meet or you have met will be there for 100% of your life, but you are there for 100% of your life. So it's very important that you show yourself kindness and compassion as you deal with the difficulties of the external world. And I'm saying this because I feel like maybe some of you are taking the blame, especially if you tend to be very giving and generous in relationships, and this person could have been the opposite. I'm bringing this up because how this person may have treated you or what happened here doesn't determine your worth or dictate what kind of treatment you deserve. For some of you, this person could have blamed you for things you didn't do as well, or tried to talk their way out of a situation and just describe you in ways that are not accurate. And if they have, if they have said something insulting to you, I don't even think they actually see you that way. I think it's just their pride, that they don't want to back down, that they don't want to be wrong. And I think a part of them is aware of this, but again, they may not choose to work with that energy, that awareness. They may choose to work against it instead. This person is realizing how magnetic and how powerful you are. They might feel like there are other people interested in you, and if that's the case, they may have become more protective, or they may have started pursuing you more. Because they're giving me a little bit of a jealous / possessive energy for some of you. So even if they may downplay how they feel or their own pain or this situation itself, it matters to them. And if there has been a fallout in this situation, I think it's made them realize that. Let's get into the tarot. And of course, if this doesn't sound like your pile or what happened in your situation at all, then there might be a message for you in one of the other piles. Or if you didn't feel called to any of them, maybe there is no message for you in this reading, which is also perfectly okay. I heard everything around me is changing, but I don't. So this could be someone who's very resistant to change of any kind. We have Justice coming out in reverse. Libra energy could be significant. We have the Seven of Cups. They're realizing that the reality that they're in doesn't seem to match yours or other people's. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. They feel very unstable, and I think they're also quite insecure as well. Especially if you've walked away from them or they walked away and tried to come back and you didn't let them in. It just feels like they feel shut down by you and rejected in some way. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have Strength. I think they definitely realize this connection is not going to be restored or come back or be what they want it to be, especially not without putting in a lot of effort on their end. Leo energy could be significant with Strength coming out as well. We have the Seven of Swords in reverse. It almost feels like they don't think it's fair that they can't get their way. So they may be looking at this from kind of a more immature angle. And I think this comes from possibly having a very wounded inner child. And also being very disconnected from certain parts of their own self as well. Like some of their perspectives never evolved as they grew up. And like they always found a way to get their way, maybe by being charming towards other people. But now that seems to have stopped. We have the Three of Swords in reverse. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. They recognize that they have to take this situation seriously if they're ever going to restore this situation. But at the same time, they feel quite like, they still feel quite reckless and avoidant in certain ways. Like they're very, very resistant to whatever realizations they are having. And I think their mind is a little bit like chaotic right now. Like they're having a very hard time thinking and being on their own. They need a distraction. They need to get away. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting from this. We have the Star in reverse. And we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. This is someone who's not being honest with their own self. I feel like this is very, very difficult for them to do. And I think that's one of the reasons why this energy is so, it feels so chaotic, because being honest with their own self, it feels terrifying to them. And it's interesting because it feels like they see themselves as a lost cause, like they're never gonna change, they can never change. But it also feels like they've never even tried. Bottom deck energy is the Queen of Cups, and I think this represents your energy. And we have the King of Swords right behind it, and it's almost like an energy of, you gave me your cup filled with love, and that's what I should have returned to you too, but I can't. I only have this sword, and I cut things with it, and I cause pain. I think they recognize this, if this is the story of your situation. But at the same time, there is a feeling of helplessness to their energy. And this isn't because of you. It's not because you didn't do enough. I think you did everything that you could. I think you were incredible to them. And very understanding and encouraging, but it feels like they just didn't want to work with it, and they didn't want to work with their own self. But they definitely recognize what they've lost. It's just more so that they don't seem to want to accept any of it, because that brings in a lot of painful negative emotions that they may not want to deal with. Let's let's get some channeled messages. And I will mention that this seems to be someone who may have narcissistic tendencies. Not necessarily a narcissistic personality disorder, but some parts of the energy feels like this might be someone with some narcissistic tendencies and behaviors. But I think you would already know if that is relevant to you. But if not, maybe reading into narcissistic tendencies could be helpful. My brain is really slowing down. We have, I'm not looking for anything serious right now. I'm seeing circles in my mind's eye. I feel like they're going in circles in their head and also maybe in their life and in this connection as well, it seems. I want to see where this situation goes. I'm still seeing circles in my mind's eye, so I feel like this person also realizes that they are going in circles. They're repeating the same things, but it feels like they can't bring themselves to just admit that either. We have, I want you by my side. I think they really miss the energy that you were giving them. We have, my intentions are pure. And with this message, I have to say, I really don't think their intention was to cause pain. But it feels like they're also not willing to take action to ensure that there isn't damage caused. So it feels a bit like carelessness rather than like them straight up having bad intentions. And I am afraid of change. Yeah, I think this is basically the main energy. And this could be something that they realized recently about their own self as well, that they are resistant to change. And it feels like a loop where they may recognize this, but then again, because they're afraid of change, they can't change this belief or this perspective either. So it feels like they've just cornered their own self. We have, I don't want to hurt anyone. There is so much I want to say to you. I want your attention, and I'm trying my best to figure this out. I didn't do this for pile 1, but I did it for pile 2, and I want to do it for you as well. I want to get some Moonology cards, even though I did pre-shuffle for all of the piles, so I don't have a lot of the deck here. But I want to see what comes through. We have a personal issue reaches resolution, and we have hold your vision, and bottom deck energies, you are good enough. Especially important to keep in mind if this situation or this person have made you feel otherwise. because you're more than enough. And withhold your vision and a personal issue reaches resolution. This is kind of confirming the message for me that you did all that you can. And it's time to allow yourself to have peace with the knowledge that you did everything that you can. And there is peace in accepting that it is out of your control now. And that you don't have to try to control this situation or this person. Because to work with this energy, they have to be willing to. And that's up to them to decide. It's not, you shouldn't have to convince anyone. Yes, I'm sending you lots of love, my beautiful pile of threes. This is all I have for you. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or one of the other piles. And take really good care. Hopefully I'll see you soon. And bye. Hello, my beautiful pile fours, and welcome to your reading. We are looking into what the person on your mind has realized about you and this connection. And I feel like this is going to be a sunny reading because when I was shuffling to prepare the decks, I saw the Sun and the Eight of Wands. Leo energy could be significant, but I also feel like we're getting sunny energies, sunny news. But let's see, we have number 8, Law of Balance, which is also the Strength card in the tarot. So again, Leo energy could be significant, or August could be significant, or July. We have the energy is gaining momentum. We have a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. We have Mars force. We have blessings. We have gateway. We have purpose. I know what I'm here to do. And we also have death. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. This could be someone you already are with, like in a committed relationship with, but it could also be someone that you're dating. But regardless of where you're at with this person right now, they still feel for you like it's day one. And by that, I mean they are absolutely mesmerized by you. They are so drawn to you and they are so excited about your connection. I think there is a sense that they've never really felt this way before, so they don't quite know what to do with their feelings. I think you are this person's muse, and they realize that they want to give you more, that they want to provide more in this connection. I feel like they're usually quite practical, but when it comes to you, it feels like they daydream about your future together, and they're not afraid to involve you in their daydreams, like thinking about what kind of dog they want, and they consider what kind of dogs you like, or cats, or birds, or turtles, or doesn't have to be a pet at all, but I feel like they just realize that they want you in their future. They want more of you in their life, as much as they can have. This person is very enthusiastic about this connection. And I feel like it's not going to take them a long time to tell you, especially if you've given them some kind of green light, because it almost feels like they may have been like waiting for something, waiting for a green light, waiting for a signal from you, waiting for a sign, waiting for you to bring something up. It feels like they might be kind of observing where you're at before they say something. Not because it feels like it could be because they just don't want to rush you, especially if you're still healing from something in the past. And especially with this death card coming out, I feel like you both could be healing from something in the past, or maybe they had just gotten out of a relationship when you met, or vice versa. But this person essentially is realizing that they want a mutual connection with you, whatever label it may have. They just want a mutual connection with you where there is respect, there is love, there is admiration, there is encouragement, there is support, there is compassion, there is fun, there is playfulness, there is seriousness, everything. This person feels very grateful to have met you, and they realize that they are not going to find any other. So I feel like no matter what age this person is, they're kind of in the mindset of like, this is it. I want pile 4. It's all I want. Nothing less, nothing more. It's pile 4. That's what it feels like. I'm very happy to just sit in this energy, honestly. Like, just take a moment and just be here. It just feels, the way they see you, it's so tender. I don't know if I've ever used that word before in my life. But it's so tender. That's what it is. It's very gentle. It's very tender. It's very genuine. And I feel like maybe for some of you, this came quite unexpectedly. Like you weren't looking for anything, or you were just trying to tie up loose ends about another situation when this person just appeared in your life. And they could have, April could be significant, and they could have appeared as like just a friend, like a friendly figure. Because I don't think this person, it feels like it all happened naturally. It doesn't feel like they had a strategy coming in. It feels like everything just clicked naturally here. That this person just felt drawn to you in ways that they probably didn't understand either. But I feel like they have had time, even if it's not been a long time, I feel like they've had time to really understand their feelings for you, which seem to mainly just be very gentle, passionate, loving feelings. This person wants to, I want to build for you. And this doesn't have to be literal, it could be, but I think it's also about like building a sense of security, building a sense of safety, and building their own self up as well. And building you up too. Building everything together, doing the work together, putting in the effort together. Especially with this win-win outcome card, also the law of balance. This person wants balance, they want peace. And I think this is someone who's happy with the simplest of things, just with the very simple moments the two of you share. I think it's all that they want, really. And I think this is someone who's also very responsible. They could be working really hard on their career as well, or on academics, whatever it may be that they're doing. Or it could be like a hobby / passion as well. But this person has just realized that they want it all with you. I think you're it for them, and that feels big to say, so take it however it resonates, but it is coming through, so I can't not say it. But let's get into the tarot. They feel very, very, very lucky to have met you. Even that, I think, is just like, wow, for this person. We have the Ace of Wands and the Page of Swords in reverse. What? Okay. Page of Swords in reverse wanted to make itself especially known. But I feel like it never crossed this person's mind that things would end up this way for them. So maybe they felt like they were not lucky in love. Or maybe you felt like you weren't lucky in love. And maybe this feels too good to be true, but I think this person really just has genuine intentions, which may be hard. I read somewhere, I don't remember where, but the hardest part of having a healthy relationship after having one or more unhealthy dynamics in relationships, it's adapting to not having to have your guard up all the time, not having to protect yourself, not feeling like something is going to go wrong. It takes time, it takes learning, it takes intention. So no rush. Sorry for that sound. So no rush on that end. But I feel like you can put your trust in this person. Bottom line is you are the final judge of what you decide to do. And I would say trust your own intuition before mine or anyone else's. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. But I think this person wants the best for you. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. And with the Six of Wands in reverse, again, I'm getting the sense that they just want simple things. Not in the sense that they don't or can't dream big, but in the sense that they just don't want too much. And I think they're very generous as well. That is one thing that is coming through. Very generous and also level-headed. We have the Three of Wands. You may come from different places or different backgrounds, or you may have very different interests. And this person wants to learn it all. They want to explore it all. They realize that they just want to know you in and out. They think you're beautiful inside and out. They want to show you what love can be. I don't know, they have such a gentle energy. We have the Eight of Wands. And I'm dropping more cards than usual onto the ground. So I feel like, again, there is like a lot of energy, a lot of emotions here. Can we clarify the Six of Wands in reverse? This is someone who's very loyal as well. And they may also be on a self-love journey and learning to be compassionate towards their own self, because I think they have a lot of compassion for everyone else, but maybe they're a little bit too harsh on their own self. And you may mirror this habit as well. And it feels like you're both learning from each other to give your own selves compassion as well. It feels like this person just wants to create a safe space with you. But the biggest realization is that they want a future with you. They want more. They want to do things they've never done before with you and redo things that they have done. There's a lot of traveling energy as well. So this could be someone who likes to travel or who wants to travel with you and go someplace like you've always wanted to go, or they've always wanted to go, or maybe you have a common place you want to go to. if you are from different places, I think they also want to like explore your hometown, your culture. They realize that you may have been very hurt in the past, but they also know that they would like to make you feel safe, and not just on a surface level, but on every level. And they actually want to keep you safe. We have the Fool. We have the Fool 2.0. This has never happened before, that they both came out like this. So for some of you, this could be like a second chance, like an ex that came back as well with the Fool and the Fool 2.0. But I feel like this is also representative of both of your energies and how much potential there is to grow and evolve here together, to be new versions of yourselves. And like, it doesn't feel like a short-term thing unless you want it to be, because you also have a choice. Just because this person has these daydreams, it doesn't mean that you must now be with them just because they want you to be. You of course also have a say, but I feel like there's a whole lot of potential here that could be exciting to explore. We have the Three of Swords. I don't think they're afraid of your past experiences. And what I mean by that is, if you are still healing from something in the past, this person's not intimidated by it. They're not bothered by it. They're not uncomfortable by it. They just want to stand by your side as you go through it. And they want to help in any way that they can. And I think this person really wants to understand where you're coming from, understand the experiences that have made you who you are. They realize that they're happy to commit to you with no reservations. And they may still be healing from something else, like I said, but I don't think that interferes with their desire and their inner knowing that they want to go through their journey with you. And we have the Knight of Pentacles, the card that was sticking out as I was shuffling, which is beautiful because the Knight of Pentacles is not the fastest moving knight, but it is the most dependable. The Knight of Pentacles always gets where the Knight of Pentacles needs to go. And the job always gets done. If you want something done, ask the Knight of Pentacles. That's how I see this card. So I feel like this is someone incredibly dependable. Although it may take time to come to terms with that or see it that way, I think this person is willing to do anything that they can to show you that they're here. And they have nothing but good intentions. But of course, no rush. Because I don't think this is someone who's gonna think, oh, pile 4 isn't immediately into me, or they're not immediately ready to be in a relationship with me or take this to the next level, that I'm gonna go away. This is definitely not that kind of person. I got the deck and we have the Six of Cups and the Ace of Wands. I think they already feel so connected to you that nothing is going to intimidate them. they really want this with you. So I think they will, if you want them to wait, they will. If you want to take it slow, I don't think they have any problem with that. As long as you communicate to them what you feel. I think communication is very important to them, and I think it is also very important in relationships in general, although not always the easiest thing to do. But I think this person is always willing to listen, because they really want to understand you and how you feel and your perspectives. But yes, let's get some channeled messages. I kind of read this assuming it's like someone new, but this could also be someone you've been with for a while who wants to take this to the next level as well. I find it really difficult to open up to people. I don't think this is someone who trusts everyone, but I think they feel very comfortable opening up to you. We have I daydream about you. And I dropped some cards, so let me just... We have you... Oh, this is not the card I was reading. You are a wish come true. And we also have I want the absolute best for you. Ooh. We have I will come back. I don't think I can make you happy, and I don't know how you feel about me. If this is an ex, this could be how they perceive your energy right now, from a little bit of a more insecure space, not knowing if there is space for them to come in. Though for most of you, I do think this is a new person. But if these messages are for you, then you will know. We also have I feel very connected to you. I don't know why all the cards are just going down in this reading. Can we get one more message from the person on pile 4's mind? We have please be patient with me, and I don't want to mess this up, and would you say yes? So maybe for some of you, this person is the one wanting to take things slow. Or maybe you both want to take it slow. But I definitely don't think they mind the wait, because they know it's worth it. And yes, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile 4s. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you lots of love. Take care and bye.